You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, Joplin residents had an opportunity to give their opinion on a development project that's 2 years in the making.
Also, a rural Kansas bridge gives way in a dramatic collapse into the Neosho River.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. We'll have a look at all of that coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday, June the 27th here in the 4 states. And we've got some showers, we got some storms. I do want to emphasize nothing severe,
right?
Nor is anything severe expected. I know after the severe weather season we've had, it seemed like any thunderstorm likes to get a little more. So that's not going to be the case. But we got some rumbles of thunder, which we will get to in a moment. And now something that I learned about some time ago and confirmed some information that I cannot confirm with you now. I'm very excited about it. It's another new project in Joplin.
The newest development in Joplin gets residents' feedback. Prospect Village is a multi-use development that's been in the pre-planning stages for more than 2 years.
The project includes a publicly owned state-of-the-art sports complex. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the details.
Developing the future can be difficult.
It's also a challenging site. It was a Superfund site through the EPA. It was previously owned by International Paper, so a lot of due diligence on just the environmental components of the site. Making sure it gets cleaned up properly, everything's remediated. So I feel good about the progress we've made. We've got a great team involved on the site, doing all the due diligence, working through all the planning, the design work, so yeah, we're happy about the progress we've made.
The new Prospect Village development in Joplin looks to bring new infrastructure, entertainment, and tourism to Joplin.
The city, we welcome new investment. We welcome redevelopment of the community, especially underutilized, blighted properties. This new development project can really enhance the community, provide great amenities, and give us an ability to grow.
According to Drew Snyder, Joplin is the perfect place for this project.
We've spent a lot of time here. We've developed a lot of relationships. It's a great place, it's a great community. So we're excited to continue to invest in Joplin, and I would say we are interested in doing this project because of the experience and because of the, I would say, business-friendly climate that we've had with the city and wanting to see positive changes in the community.
And after feedback from the public, he holds to that idea.
Local use, non-peak weekends, things like that, local use on weeknights is important, and this will be publicly owned. We're using public funding in order to do that, so I think that started the planning side of this.
In Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Snyder says the hope is to begin construction on the development in 2026.
That's a lot of exciting things going on. And to remind you, it's one of those things I know there's a lot of folks who are, because the city's involved, thinking the city's involved in the cost of this. And of course, they're not. The developer's involved in the cost. And it's a great use of that land out there.
It certainly is.
Been
exciting.
For a very long time. The skies are not so empty this morning for some of us. We do have some clouds looking southwest-ish from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've got some clouds out there because we have thunderstorms out there off to the west. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin, a little more cloudy, a little less sunshine right now. And that is just because we've got thunderstorms around the region. So here's a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. We'll dive into all of this a little closer, but you can see we've got around Stockton Lake. And the thing is, all of this is kind of recycling, refilling. Some of it had begun to fizzle out, like this shower activity in Chautauqua County, but now looking at Montgomery County, trying to pick back up again. Nothing severe, but we are getting some heavy rain and quite a bit of lightning. We got a new little cell now south of Chinook. We've got some now into Bourbon County, and our photographer, Trevor, is in Bronson. And right now, Trevor, if you're listening, you are just fine. Because, of course, he's outdoors. He gets our live shots of different parks in the area or other locations. He's in Bronson. Trevor, you're fine. And we're all really fine. But if you've got anybody who's going to be on the lake, that maybe they're there now, you just want to make sure that they're weather aware. And the biggest thing from now really through next Tuesday, because these storm chances continue through at least then, when thunder roars, head indoors. Well, we're not anticipating severe weather. The lightning, dangerous, deadly on its own. And of course, there could be gusty winds with the storm, some heavy rain. You don't want to be caught out in the open on that. And look at how quickly all of this is flared up here across the area, taking the radar back to about 4 a.m. And you see how it's all filling in, and very quickly as well. We'll continue with these scattered showers and storms. Future track right now, these are almost like pop-up storms, but over a much broader area. And so it's having a hard time picking up on what they're going to do. So based on radar trends right now, Future Track thinks these storms will weaken a bit by about noon. And then we'll have a brief pause before we get additional development. But we just really want to monitor those trends with the storms this morning. Like I said, not because we're expecting severe weather, just because the model data has been having a hard time kind of picking up on what they're going to do, where they're going to go next. 75 Joplin, 74 Pittsburgh. Quick look at those temperatures for you. We've got low, mid, and upper 70s across the area. And now where we're getting the rain now, if you clear out, as is the current expectation later this morning, you'll probably reach highs closer to 90, but most of us, highs around the mid-80s and a south breeze at around 5 to 10. As I mentioned, we're going to take a radar tour for you, take a look at where these storms are now, and kind of get you on where they're going to be and how the rest of our weekend is looking here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. The bridge over the Neosho River south of St. Paul, Kansas is no more. It's collapsed into the river yesterday under the weight of a fallen tree. The steel bridge on Veterans Road is now mostly underwater. Neosho County authorities got the call around 11 yesterday morning about a large tree that had fallen onto the bridge, causing it to break apart. There were no vehicles on the bridge at the time, and the sheriff's office says no one was hurt. Neosho County deputies and road and bridge crews responded quickly and closed access to the bridge. And authorities will seek charges in connection with a Joplin shooting incident from Wednesday night, but not for the shooting. Police say the incident happened just after 10:20 at a home on South Grand Avenue. Now, according to authorities, Stephen Williams showed up uninvited to the home. Williams's ex-girlfriend claimed he then caused a disturbance. Another man at the home, Tegan Hasty, went outside to check for property damage when Williams approached him. During an altercation, Hasty was allegedly assaulted and Williams was shot. Williams was taken to a local hospital where he is in stable condition. Police say they will pursue multiple charges against Williams, including trespassing, domestic assault, and vandalism. Williams is currently not in police custody. Authorities say they do not plan to seek charges against Hasty, as they have determined he acted in self-defense. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Upward Bound students at Crowder College in Neosho showcased their research projects to their peers. Upward Bound is a program for high school students whose parents did not attend college or have a disability. The students are required to attend research classes to help get them ready for college. The subjects range from creative writing and music theory and business law.
We are trying to get our students ready for college, so again, we are just trying to mimic that collegiate research aspect, because a lot of our students are going to need to know how to do that when they get to college.
The students are allowed to do research of their choosing as long as it is a part of their class subject. And that's a look at our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Republicans are feeling the pressure to approve President Trump's big, beautiful bill. We'll have the latest. And later, fireworks may trigger PTSD for some. We hear from a local veteran about his experience. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Bronson City Park. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Republican lawmakers are feeling more pressure to approve President Trump's big, beautiful bill with some last-minute speed bumps while trying to meet the president's deadline. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more.
One big, beautiful bill to secure our borders, turbocharge our economy, and bring back the American dream.
President Trump spoke alongside people he says will benefit from his signature bill. The legislation would take taxes off tips and overtime, provide funding to fix aging air traffic control technology, and fund immigration enforcement. Senate Republicans hope to pass their version of the bill this weekend, but they've hit a snag. The Senate parliamentarian who's in charge of enforcing the chamber's rules says some key pieces cannot be included as written.
What happens is that you've got our elected leaders of the Senate who are going through their normal process to dicker about last-minute things right up to the very end.
Republicans still have disagreements over spending and cuts in the bill. Some in the House worry the Senate will make too many changes to their original product.
I think the Senate wants to be able to avoid some of these cuts and these savings, and they want to be able to blame it on the parliamentarian.
Democrats are seizing on the recent roadblocks to highlight what they say will result in cuts to Medicaid.
They really should go back to the drawing board because of the parliamentarian ruling, because the American people are passionately and widely opposed to cuts in Medicaid and food assistance.
Parts of the bill struck by the Senate parliamentarian had to do with cuts to Medicaid for non-citizens and a way for states to get more Medicaid funds. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
That's a look at some of today's top national stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:15 now, almost 7:16 on this Friday morning. Scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Again, no severe weather, nor are we expecting any. But we do have these scattered storms. We're going to start over here around Stockton Lake and into Stockton. Again, if you are on the lake, you know anybody who is or is in that area, just make sure they're staying weather aware, that they are in a good, safe place, because you don't want to be caught in these storms. Again, the storms aren't severe, but gusty winds and that lightning and heavy rain can cause some problems if you're outdoors. So just be prepared for that. We also have some stretching into southeastern St. Clair County now as they're continuing to push east of Osceola. And you can see there's another one of those little rogue lightning strikes. That's what we talk about, where the lightning can strike upwards of 10, 15 miles away from the parent thunderstorm. So remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. If you're close enough to hear thunder, you can be struck by lightning. We're headed over to Bates County now, where we again have more heavy rain. Butler, you're just getting inundated by this, and it stretches along I-49 from just south of Harrisonville there all the way back down to around Rich Hill. We've got more of these showers and storms rolling through. Fort Scott, north side of the city here, you've got some showers, some heavier rain out there, some rumbles of thunder for sure. Back off to your west, we go up first into Anderson County. We've got showers, thunderstorms around Garnett to the east of Ozark, stretching down Iola. You've got some to your west. You've got them to your north. You'll eventually get in on some of this activity as well. Chanute, you've got another cell now that is just to your southwest, passing, getting ready to cross 169. We go up Yates Center. You're getting in the thick of the heavy rain and thunderstorms now as well. So, of course, that's parts of 54 there, heading west from Iola through Yates Center, all the way back into Greenwood County. So now just to the east of Eureka, probably still hearing some thunder, getting some light rain. We got Janesville getting in on the activity, stretching down toward Twin Grove. Elk County doing a little better, lighter showers for most of the county, but you can see most of the county still getting rainfall. Some moderate showers around Sedan, Lafayette, back into Chautauqua County. And we've got this heavier guy now, southwest of Independence here on 75. Bringing some heavier rain as well. We've got all this activity off to the west here. Again, it isn't moving a lot, but this activity to the west, if you watch the radar loop, it's almost as if it is producing all of the other thunderstorm activity that we've had that's filled in really well. Radar is going back about 3 a.m., and you can see how quickly this fills in, and some of this activity is kind of almost zapping the energy out of the original complex as it continues to push off to the northeast. We also have some of it pushing off now with like this cell here, and a new one that just flared up here, wasn't on the radar a second ago, into Washington County. It's trying to push east. So here's what we've got. We've got basically pop-up storms, just more widespread. There's a little wave, not a major trigger for these storms. So Future Track is having a hard time kind of picking up on them. It is expecting them to kind of weaken over the next few hours and fall apart, leaving just isolated showers, maybe a thunderstorm by noon through southeast Kansas. That's at least one possibility. The other is, again, they won't become severe, but they could hold their own and continue with showers and storms pushing off to the east and northeast. One way or the other, though, from now through Tuesday, We're going to have isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, which you can see going into Saturday morning. They'll continue through the day Saturday. There will be pauses here and there, just enough, of course, for us to get hot and muggy, and they'll return for us as we go into our Sunday as well, with additional scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. So we just want to keep an eye on them. Again, not expecting anything severe, but we want to keep an eye on those storms. And you can see those storm clouds from our camera at 7th and Rangeline looking to the northwest. Upper 70s by 8, low 80s by 11, and if our northwestern counties do clear out, you may get closer to 90s. We're talking Yates Center, Iola, maybe Chanute into Fredonia. Everybody else, though, should average about the low to mid 80s. Low 90s through the weekend, upper 80s, low 90s to start the week, and then maybe an isolated pop-up storm or two for the 4th of July. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more after this. Well, today is National Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Day, and as the 4th of July nears, so does the potential trigger for veterans struggling with PTSD.
KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how what may seem like fun fireworks celebrations, but rather bring back bad memories for service members.
As the 4th of July nears, the sounds of fireworks shooting off in the sky is expected. For veterans, the loud booms may not be so fun.
I personally have some issues with that. I'm not big into the fireworks anymore, and you hear, it's just, it brings back some memories that I don't want to think about sometimes.
Roger Koch is the military liaison for Ozark Center in Joplin and a veteran. He says he sees veterans struggle this time of year.
A big thing is the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder. The fireworks and such bring back, call it a flashback, I guess, of time that in the service, and things, bad memories that might come up from that.
The loud noises, smells, and sounds from fireworks can trigger PTSD symptoms. People celebrating the holiday early may accidentally add to that struggle.
One of the big issues is the unexpected. I would ask anyone that is, or that are looking to do their fireworks, to at least know the surroundings.
Koch says outside of the fireworks themselves, large crowds at celebrations can also be a trigger. He says one of the best things struggling veterans can do is find a place that's safe and comfortable for them, like their own home.
If you just want to view, you can view from home to see other fireworks going. Not surround yourself with so many people.
Experts say for veterans who find themselves struggling with PTSD, earplugs and breathing techniques can go a long way to help ground yourself. They add just because someone may have PTSD, it doesn't mean they don't want to celebrate.
Veterans of all, we enjoy the celebratory, the 4th of July, and the fireworks that go along with it. But we also kind of appreciate a little bit of knowing that, hey, it might trigger some certain things with veterans.
I think as long as people are truly enjoying their time, their holidays, that probably means, to me, that means the most as a veteran.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
And of course, it's not just, hey there, how y'all doing? Well, I tell you what, it's not just people who may struggle, though, with the sound and the smell of fireworks.
Experts say animals, including service dogs, can be triggered as well.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're taking care. Be respectful of your neighbors. Be respectful of your pets as well, and just be safe, be smart as well.
Absolutely.
While you're celebrating.
Keep in mind, well, coming up, Americans get ready to hit the road for the holiday. We take a look at what 4-staters need to know before they roll out.
And we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. Fort Scott Community College has a new president. The Board of Trustees has named Dr. Jack Welch to the role. He brings experience in both higher education leadership and previous work with FSCC and the Fort Scott community. Dr. Welch will oversee all operations and strategic direction for the college, officially stepping into the role on June 30th. The Knights of Columbus Endowment Fund grants more than $77,000 to 17 local groups fighting to meet basic human needs in Crawford County. Established after the sale of the Knights of Columbus Tower, the Endowment Fund offers support to seniors, families, and those facing challenges in southeast Kansas.
We couldn't be happier. This is a real blessing for our council, and just to be able to help so many organizations in town that need a hand. This is a real blessing.
Since 2021, the endowment has awarded more than $250,000 for more than 40 projects, from housing and health services to vital community support. And Freeman Health System offered a unique summer school opportunity yesterday. The Freeman Health Academy gives kids 16 and up an inside look at the healthcare industry. The potential young healthcare workers took advantage of job shadows, hands-on activities, and a hospital tour.
I really want to learn just how the different things work. Obviously not lots of people get to be in the OR and see surgery happening right there in front of them and standing over the surgeon's shoulder, and that's the experience that I had, and so that's what I'm hoping to learn, is just gain some of that experience.
There are 2 additional camps in July and August. To find more information, you can go to KOAMnewsnow.com. Indigo Sky Casino's new Rock and Brews restaurant and concert bar is now open for business. Last night, the Gene Simmons Band was rocking the stage with the free concert, co-founded by Simmons himself. The venue promises plenty of fun, from watching sports and dancing to regular events like Taco Tuesday. Simmons praises the dedication it took to bring this project to life.
We're so proud of how the Eastern Shawnee have stepped up and done wonders. Look at this place. It takes full commitment. It takes money. It takes the right people. It takes hiring the right chefs. And it takes the right staff, so who treat you like family when you first walk in through the door.
The new Rock and Brews restaurant and concert bar features 15 screens for sports and entertainment viewing, a full-service concert bar, countertop gaming, and space for dancing. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start a live look downtown Pittsburgh. You can see those thunderstorm clouds off to the north there from the scattered showers and storms we have across the area. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good. A little more sunshine out there. So here's a look at Skywatch storm trackers. So now we have this whole complex of storms that has developed. It's exiting the eastern portions of our area, but Stockton Lake, you want to make sure that you are remembering the whole when thunder roars, head indoors. You're taking precautions, especially if you're out this weekend or you're already out today. You need to be just in a good place because you get some gusty winds. Of course, that lightning, heavy rain can be problematic. The lightning, of course, can be deadly and dangerous. Far southeastern St. Clair County, still some heavy rain out there as well, but slowly beginning to exit. We do have this complex as well over Bates County, so Butler's been getting into it. Deer Creek stretches now back off to the northeast and back down to the southwest toward Howard, north of Rich Hill. So Appleton City, eventually you're going to get in on this activity. Fort Scott, you're getting in on some activity now. Some light showers out there. Still stretching back up toward Mound City and parts of Lynn County. Got some thunderstorms around Liberty. Down toward Moran. Iola, you'll be up next. Ozark, Leroy, we're getting showers, thunderstorms. Yates Center, you're sandwiched in between some heavier rain complexes. Getting more of that around the Eureka area into the southeastern 2/3 of Greenwood County. Some light rain around the Fredonia area. Moderate showers there. Moderate showers south of Chanute. A new one over Neodesha. Got this thunderstorm now south side of Independence. We've got them back into Elk and Chautauqua County. So we've really got widespread showers and thunderstorms. Nothing severe, and I do want to emphasize that. It's just you can see how quickly all of this has flared up this morning. My expectation on future track is that these will weaken as they push east this morning. Based on radar trends, that may not be the case. They're not going to become severe, but they may not weaken and dissipate as future track is suggesting. So one way or another, though, as we go through today, we're going to continue with isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. Quick look at temperatures for you. 75 Joplin, 74 in Pittsburgh and around the area. We've got low, mid, and upper 70s. Of course, a little cooler where the rain is falling. However, where the rain is falling now, if these storms do begin to move or die out, you may reach highs of 90, while the rest of us will cap out into the mid-80s across the area. South breeze 5 to 10. We'll have another full look at your forecast and take a look at the storms as they continue to evolve this morning here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Independence is a week away, and holiday travel kicks off this Saturday. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, AAA wants to remind drivers of habits they should follow before taking off.
I'm traveling from Dallas, Texas to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Adam Quirk is one of the many travelers passing through the 4 states. He must have well known traveling day is this Saturday because he's leaving early.
This morning at about 5:30, and I'm staying in St. Louis tonight. And then I'll finish my journey tomorrow and get to Green Bay sometime tomorrow.
Quirk is passing through the 4 states, but many are staying in the 4 states. Well, for the most part.
Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Right now we're headed to Branson, Missouri.
Branson, yes. We're going to go see David at the Sight and Sound Theater.
According to AAA spokesperson Nick Shabaria, 1.4 million people are expected to drive through Missouri. Shabaria says that's fine, but you need to be ready before you leave.
Keep up with that regular maintenance, making sure your oil is changed at regular intervals, your tires are properly rotated and properly inflated. Of course, a well-charged cell phone and a way to charge your cell phone to call for assistance if you do become stranded.
And what about all that heat?
Bring some extra water for everybody in your vehicle, as well as, good pair of jumper cables and maybe a few extra snacks in case you do have to wait for assistance.
A lot of water, a lot of stops, a lot of breaks.
Water and coffee.
Hydrated, had some coffee this morning.
I have snacks, I of course have soda, I have water for my dog.
Quirk also wants drivers in Missouri to pay close attention.
A lot of police.
Okay.
So drive carefully.
And despite one driver saying there's a lot of policemen out, all drivers say they love passing through the 4 states. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
And Shabaria also says one of the biggest problems during travel season is dealing with a dead or disabled battery. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker joins us to share his big 3 stories of the week. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Bronson City Park. Welcome back. We have Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. And you? Are you well?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good. Great as always.
Great to hear.
Getting close to that 4th of July.
Yes.
Let's take a look this week at our big 3 stories of the week. This was this last Saturday night, late Saturday night. Lone Elm, Northridge Terrace is just right off the western edge of North Joplin. Overturned car. Actually, that car had rear-ended another car in front of it at high speeds.
Wow.
So one car went overturned, and the other one went into a large ditch creek.
Oh my goodness.
The driver of this car, just a person driving down the road, was injured and transported to an area hospital. Driver of the other car, this lady, facing DWI drug charges.
Wow.
And honestly, when a wreck like that is a little more damage,
Yes.
people are hurt, that DWI becomes a higher level.
Right.
So we're still following that story.
Absolutely.
Our number 2, KOAM News Now, live and breaking news. What's happening? Well, over the weekend, of course, President Trump had ordered the nuclear sites in Iran to be targeted. But the incredible thing is the B-2 bombers take off from Missouri and land in Missouri.
Places, yes.
There are only 19 of these, and they used 6 of them on the weekend. And so it was really interesting to see the reactions of people here in Missouri.
It was.
I had somebody like, in Missouri? I was like,
I know.
yeah. My former father-in-law, he actually was in the Air Force, and his job was to refuel the bombers.
Wow.
So the plane above it, they refuel them on the way because they had such a large payload, they call it. And so it's real fascinating to see how they actually fly that gas hose down to that waiting plane. They landed, of course, no problems. And then our number 1 story, KOAM News Now, what was initially Oklahoma Highway Patrol thought someone had died in this crash. This is a dash cam.
Right.
A car had slammed into a semi-tractor trailer at Veneta. That tractor trailer, part of it went off the bridge and then exploded into flames. Actually,
That's
some
impressive.
I know.
That flame. Wow.
Some passerby actually helped the driver get out of that semi.
Oh, really?
Minor injuries. Can you believe it?
That's unbelievable.
But there was another car that
Yes.
was in all that. The driver actually ran on foot, and they thought maybe he was dead. But they found about 3 hours later he's facing some immigration charges as well as like 7 other felonies for causing a wreck like this, for careless and imprudent driving, and the list goes on. Our bonus story of the week, 4th of July, we've got your list. It's our fireworks celebration list. I love putting this all together every year so you know what's happening. Tonight, Butterfield, Cherryvale, downstream, they're going to have it at their big concert. Mount Vernon and Republic. And then as we look forward to July 4th, now that's going to be Joplin at MSSU as it always is. But now tomorrow night, this is the big list. Columbus, Galena, Gravette, Greenfield, Marionville, Mulberry, Neosho, Washburn, and Welch.
Something for
Yeah.
everyone there.
There's no
It's great to
excuse
see.
not to
No.
have that PTSD, right? There's no excuse for your dog not to hide under the table for days. But fireworks have been around about as long as dogs have been around.
Right.
So they'll eventually come around, I'm sure.
They'll make peace somehow. Well, Shannon, as always, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:44 on this Friday morning. Start with this shot from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, looking back to the north at some of those thunderstorms out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good as well this morning. And as we advance to the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we still have this complex of storms around the Stockton area, just north of Stockton Lake. But remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. Just make sure you're being safe out there. No severe weather. I know I keep saying it, but really I do want to emphasize, no severe weather is expected with this activity, but we do have some lightning, could get some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. We have showers and storms now entering northwestern Vernon County out there, north of Fort Scott. Still got heavy rain around the Butler area into Bates County, and now new storms rolling into Lynn County as well this morning. Back into Bourbon County, we've got some up around the community of Freedom there in Timber Hill, around Moran and Gath and Iola. We've got additional showers, thunderstorms stretching back toward Neosho Falls, Yates Center, back into parts of Coffee and Anderson counties. Heavier showers into eastern Greenwood County, to the east of Eureka, and then right on Eureka, another storm down there. Heading down into Elk County, some moderate showers and light showers here and there, but more heavier rain on the way. We got some around Fredonia, some heavier showers now southeast and northeast of Chanute. Got this thunderstorm south side of Independence, and we've got a few more showers back toward Chautauqua County. So a lot of showers, a lot of thunderstorms out there, all of them flaring up very quickly. So the radar is going back to about 4 hours ago, and you can see just how quickly all of this fills in. Again, it's not severe, but we're getting a fair amount of lightning altogether with this whole complex as it continues to kind of lift off to the east-northeast. So looking at radar trends and what we're seeing right now, in fact, take a look. Watch, we're getting new development now into Washington County, and we're getting new development back here south of this complex. Some of it is moving east, some of it's moving northeast, some of it is moving north. These are basically pop-up storms, just on a much larger scale. And because of that, Future Track is having a bit of a hard time with them. So Future Track is expecting them to begin to kind of weaken and fizzle out over the next few hours and leave us with a few spotty showers or storms. We just want to watch them and see exactly how it plays out, because again, this is one of those situations, it's not a cold front or a boundary or anything specifically triggering them. We've got just these upper level disturbances, which is just enough to trigger these thunderstorms. So we'll need to see how it pans out. One way or another, though, the thing that is absolutely certain is the isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms from now through next Tuesday. The bigger certainty on thunderstorm chances is actually going to come Sunday into Monday with the passage of a cold front. Here we are Saturday morning, more thunderstorms starting to roll through, and we get new development into southeast Kansas ahead of that other development that was by Yates Center that rolls into Missouri. So like I said, it's not a washout event, and it's not rain everywhere all at once. In fact, in some cases, we get enough clearing that we're still going to be pretty darn toasty at times as well. So it's something we want to watch with that, just for the heat side of things. Upper 70s by 8, low 80s by 11. Now, we are looking at highs today in the mid-80s for most of us. But right now, in the locations getting these showers and storms, if the data holds and they actually do roll on out or begin to dissipate, it's going to leave behind humid conditions, and you'll also get a little more sunshine, which means you may be closer to 90 with those heat index values into the upper 90s near 100. Most of us, though, mid-80s, thanks to the clouds and additional storms expected. They continue through the weekend, low 90s all the way into Tuesday, hot, dry on Wednesday, and maybe an isolated pop-up shower storm for the 4th. So again, don't cancel your plans, just have a dry place to go if need be. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, as we start this summer season, lifeguards across San Diego are warning beachgoers about the dangers of stingrays.
But this season, there's a new product on the market that's making it much easier to avoid their painful stings. Delaney White reports.
When getting into the ocean, many people are concerned about the risk of a shark attack, but there's a much more likely threat looming close to the shore: stingrays.
We'd estimate that if you're in Southern California in the summer, it's about 30,000 times more likely that you'd be stung by a stingray than attacked by a shark.
But a group of UCSD grads is designing boots that make it possible to get in the water without having to worry.
And the inner layer has the protective material.
The co-founders met while they were students, starting Dragon Skin shortly after graduating.
Michael and I were getting into surfing, and we started to just hear all the stories about people getting stung at the beach.
They quickly learned regular boots weren't enough to protect against a sting.
People were explaining to us that regular booties don't actually protect you from being stung. They're like too thin, and the barbs basically just go right through them.
We get people who come to us talking about life damage from nerves getting severed or tendons getting severed in surgeries that they've had to have.
Haddad explains many of their customers gave up going to the beach out of fear of being stung again. But thanks to the boots they created, featuring a multi-layered design that protects against the stinger, those customers have been able to get back in the water.
People on the flip side of that, after wearing our booties, being like, I have confidence again. I can go back into the water.
And this summer, surfers like D'Angelo Silva are starting their day on the right foot.
It just gives me a lot more confidence to go out there and not be so scared when I'm paddling close to shore.
Using these boots and doing the Stingray Shuffle reduces the chances of being stung, and their mission is giving surfers the peace of mind they need.
Less fear, more play.
The boots come in sizes for both adults and children, and you can find them online or on our website by following the link under the Scene On tab. Reporting from La Jolla Shores, Delaney White, back to you.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. I mean, I've never been to an ocean, probably never will be in my life. But if I ever go, I might just avoid the water completely. That protects me the most.
Also an option, yeah.
We've got plenty of water, though, falling from the sky. Skywatch Storm Tracker still showing showers, thunderstorms. And again, nothing severe, but we do have these showers and storms across the area. We're getting new development, though, and I want to point that out, that is now taking place. Again, nothing significant, but stretching south out of this little complex that's around Independence, that thunderstorm, stretching right down the 75 corridor down toward Bartlesville and Ramona. Those are new showers and little heavier showers that have developed here in the last few minutes. So we'll continue to see what these do. Again, Future Track's expectation is they don't move much, which they really aren't moving much. They try and push off east-northeast, and then they begin to fizzle out. And we get a little pause by late morning, and then we'll have additional thunderstorms. One way or the other, though, over the next several days, we're going to have off and on chances for isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. But again, no severe weather expected. Well, have another look at your forecast. News you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A bridge over the Neosho River south of St. Paul, Kansas is no more. The steel bridge on Veterans Road collapsed into the river yesterday under the weight of a fallen tree. There were no vehicles on the bridge at the time, and the sheriff's office says no one was hurt. Authorities are seeking charges against Stephen Williams in connection with the shooting in Joplin on Wednesday night. According to authorities, Williams showed up uninvited to a home, causing a disturbance which led to an altercation between Williams and Tegan Hasty, ending with Williams being shot. Joplin police say they will pursue multiple charges against Williams, including trespassing, domestic assault, and vandalism. Authorities say they do not plan to seek charges against Hasty, as they have determined he acted in self-defense. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, scattered showers, thunderstorms out there now, and we'll very likely have them again into the afternoon and evening. Most of us highs mid-80s. Some of our northwestern counties, if the rain ends early, could make about 90. Isolated to scattered shower storms through the evening and overnight, low to mid-70s, and those chances will stick with us through Tuesday. And again, no severe weather is expected. Hot and muggy otherwise in between the storms, and maybe an isolated pop-up storm on the 4th. So as we've said, don't cancel your plans for the 4th. You know how those pop-up storms work. If you get under one, just make sure you got a dry spot for your grill, yourself, and of course the fireworks. You do not want them getting wet. They will not light as well if they are wet.
Certainly so.
Trust me. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. Hopefully you had a good time, and if you did, we'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.